A few minutes late. I had a couple people jump into my office there at the end, and I didn't feel like kicking them out. So tried to end that as quickly as possible in a good way. Tally that up. So we're here. It is Thursday. A couple days away from camp. I'm excited. Last night, if you were not here, you missed RT giving an object lesson from a tape dispenser and a packing tape, which he very wisely connected that to Operation Christmas Child and the work that we can do in spreading the gospel. So that was a good thing. And then he also used flannel graph in his message, which was really neat and fun to have. So throwing it back old school on that. Next week, Chris Ward, I believe, is going to be teaching on Wednesday night because we're going to be in St. Louis. And so excited about that. Dang, a lot of people saying hi. All of a sudden, it just comes in at once for me. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Zara. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Caitlin. And good morning, Shirley. So it was a lot of fun last night. Having a good time. So as far as announcements go, we have a men's event and a women's event coming up, and I will share those posts. I know I keep saying I'm going to share them, but I'm literally going to share them like right after I get done here. I'm going to figure out the posts for the next couple days and get those scheduled so they're ready to go while I'm at camp. And again, just super pumped about that, but I don't want to forget everything else. So I tend to be scatterbrained a little bit, so I'm going to get all that stuff done. I was reading earlier today, and I wanted to share this with you. And John 13, we really just, when you read through Jesus' story, and again, I don't want to make it to where it's fictional, because it's not. It's real. It's what Jesus did and what Jesus said. One of the things that he did is when we get there, he, towards the end, like right as he's getting ready to be sacrificed and right as he's getting ready to be killed, he says, he washes his disciples' feet. And this is John 13. What he says to them, though, when he does it, is what blows me away. And it is something that I try to remind myself of on a daily basis. And I think that we need to remind ourselves this on a daily basis. He says to them in verse 12, John 13, verse 12, "Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord. And you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do just as I have done to you." Look, there's a lot of things that Jesus asks us to do. He explains for us to do when he was here, the way he teaches us and all the other things, right? We've been going through the Beatitudes here at church. We've been going through lots of things on our devotions about the requests and the expectations that we have as Christians. And our slogan, and it's not a slogan, but not just a slogan, but it's a calling. That we are to love God, love people, that we are to bless those who curse us, that we are to love our enemies, that we are to sacrifice, and Scripture says we are to esteem others better than ourselves. Now, these are hard things to do, and Jesus tells us these, and it would be very easy to just be like, this is impossible. There's no way that somebody could live out this perfectly, except that Jesus did. And before we go into the concept of, yes, but Jesus was God and everything else, and I get that, but he was also 100% fully man, had the temptations to doing it just like we do it, to doing it incorrectly and to doing it wrong, to putting himself above others. He had those temptations, those options were there. And when he is going to be crucified, when he is going to be killed for something that he never did, for completely no reason whatsoever, right before that happens, he he washes his disciples' feet, and he says, listen, I'm trying to give you an example of what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. Right? Words are one thing, and I'm extremely careful of this as a father, right? That I don't tell my kids to do something that I'm not doing. I can't just say, listen to my words and not my actions, right? It doesn't work that way. What works is that I do what I say to do. I follow out, and I go through doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is what Jesus says. He says, I'm not going to just tell you what to do. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I am going to wash your feet as your Lord and Master, Lord and Teacher. I am going to humble myself and wash your feet. There's been a lot of times where your friends and the people around you, maybe it's family, friends, they need help. They need encouragement. They need someone to come alongside them. And we need to be reminded sometimes. And this goes with our church members too. That's our family, right? This is what we say, right? This is our family. This is what we do. We need to be reminded constantly that we need to get down and wash each other's feet sometimes. We need to help each other take out the trash. We need to help each other cut the grass. We need to help each other clean our houses. We need to help each other go to grocery stores. We need to help each other do the basic things. There might be some times where we need to lend money to somebody. We need to give of some time and energy to go over and help them clean their house because they just haven't been able to, because their kids have been crazy and things have just been really hard for them right now, or they have something going on medically, or they just can't get it done. And we need to be willing to come over and surrender. The washing of the feet was not just the washing of feet. Like, we don't wash each other's feet now. They did then. That was a basic thing. When you walked into someone's house, the servant would wash, or one of the lower people. Maybe it would have been a kid, or maybe it would have been, somebody in the household. But they would have washed your feet because your feet would have been filthy. And then, that was just a sign of a cultural thing. We don't do that now. Like, we don't wash each other's feet. I'm kind of glad of that. But there are other things that we do as cultural. We clean, we cook, we wash dishes, we go grocery shopping, we take out the trash, we cut grass, we do all these types of things, right? They probably weren't out there mowing their yard every week. But we do these things culturally, and what Jesus is saying is that you should humble yourself to do the lowest thing in the house. Like, no one wanted to wash someone's feet, but it was a cultural thing to do. You need to humble yourselves to doing the lowest thing in somebody else's home to help them. When people come in, you need to be the one that's doing this for them. Like, if you can, humble yourself. I'm not talking about who owns the house, who's creating the party, who's creating the. It's this mindset that we need to lower ourselves and humble ourselves so that we are willing to serve, and we are willing to give, and we are willing to do anything and everything for somebody else. This is what Jesus exemplified. It's not only what he taught, he showed us. And I love that he says it, for I'm giving you this example. I'm literally doing this for you so that you can see. When you're at church and somebody's sitting in the spot that you wanted to sit in, but someone else is sitting there, right? Who cares? If you're at church and the coffee doesn't taste exactly correct and you would make it different, who cares? The songs aren't exactly what you would choose, or whatever else, or somebody needs help, getting to their seat, or somebody needs help going over here. Somebody just needs somebody to talk to. And you would rather go talk to your grandkids. You'd rather go talk to your children or your friends or whatever else. Scripture says no. Humble yourselves and go talk to that person that doesn't get to talk to anybody. Go spend some time with them. Go see if there's anything you can do for them. They might have a really big need, but they're not sure how to ask somebody to come over and clean and take them to the doctor or do something of that nature. And yeah, it takes time, and it takes energy, and it takes effort, and it takes sacrifice. But Jesus says we're supposed to do that. Yeah, Zara said it. I mean, there are times you might. There are people that you might need to help even get to the point of you're bathing them. You're taking care of them. You're helping them with things. And we would say, oh, there's people out there for it. Well, there might be. There were people to wash other people's feet too, and Jesus did it. I mean, and do you esteem yourself higher than Jesus? And we have to ask ourselves, because I think a lot of times we do. We don't say we do, but we do. Like Jesus would probably make sure that somebody got taken care of if they were sick and they needed help. Jesus would go over and cut someone's grass. Jesus would go over and do other help, not just for a church building, but also for other people. And even if they could do it themselves, what was wrong with Peter washing his own feet, right? Peter argued with him. You let me wash my own feet. I can wash my own feet. I'm plenty big enough. I'm plenty strong enough. I'm plenty capable. Jesus says, no, you need to allow other people to help you too. Because I'm going to impact other people. I'm going to tell other people that they need to help you. You need to let them help you. You need to not be prideful and allow other people to help you. On the same vein that somebody else needs to not be prideful and come help you, even though you could do it yourself. So it doesn't aspect, it's not just needs either. This goes into so many types of things, and what Jesus is trying to get us to understand. He's not trying to get us a specific statement here and a specific 1-2 step. What he's telling us is that you need to put others so high on your list that you will do for others anything that they could possibly need, anything that I impress upon your heart, anything that you can do for them, do for them. This is why we see in Acts when the Christians were doing this, when they were putting everything together, it says everyone gave of what they had. Not just financially. There was probably seamstresses sewing things. There was builders building things. There was other people taking care of things. Everybody put in. Everybody gave an effort, and nobody lacked anything. And that is something that we push against sometimes as a church. We should be giving and looking for people to talk to meet their needs, to figuring things out. We shouldn't have people coming to Villa. We shouldn't have people in our Christian community that are suffering alone and that are suffering by themselves, that are suffering in ways that could be fixed by other people. And because we might have to not go on a vacation, or we might have to give up a weekend, or we might have to give up that new TV, or we might give up that new video game system, or maybe we don't go out to eat that day, or maybe we don't go out to eat with our friends that day. Instead, we go out to eat with a different family that needs somebody to help them. I think that Jesus is trying to teach us that our lives should be completely enraptured by helping others and doing what others need us to do, and submitting ourselves to helping others. And I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's simple, but it is something that God wants us to do. And that's why he tells us the way what he does tell us, and the things that he does tell us to do, we need to go and do them. And so I would encourage you that when we look at this idea of Jesus washing his feet, let's just not brush over it. Let's see what Jesus is trying to tell him. He took a moment. He took a pause. Like this was thought out. I'm going to wash their feet, and then I'm going to show them this is what I want them to do. And so it was very methodical, very planned, and we should take note to what Jesus was trying to teach there. So I love you guys. I would say, listen, let's just challenge each other. Let's just a group challenge here. Make sure that we're paying attention to other people's needs. Make sure we're looking for opportunities to bless other people and to do the things for them. Not for anything on our own, but just because God tells us to do that. That's what we should be doing, so let's just go out and do it. So today, let's look for some opportunities to bless others. I love you guys so much. I want to say good morning to the rest of everybody. So James Moore, good morning. Andy Lee, good morning from England. Linda, good morning. Nancy Gilbert, good morning. Martha Stratton, good morning. It's been so good to be able to see the people here at church, to be with you guys online here. I love this, our little online community, Villa community family that we have. And so I will see you guys tomorrow at 10, and we'll talk about maybe what we're going to be doing next week, just to give you guys a heads up. So I love you guys. Bye.